Alrighty, guys. I'm Morthadon, bringing you guys Steins Gate 0, episode 20. Um, real quick before I get into anything, I just want to mention it quickly, and this is going to be the only time I mention it in the Steins Gate series at the beginning of the episodes. And I just want to let you guys know that I launched my Patreon, so if anybody is interested in supporting me, or if you're interested in full-length timer-based reactions for all of my shows and all of the episodes, I even have, 1 through 19 the Steins Gate, so it's not that I'm starting full length now, it's that all of them are up there for all of my reactions. So if you guys are interested in that, go check it out. The link is in the description. And yeah, so the rest of the times I mention this is going to be at the end of the videos because I don't want to annoy you guys with like some intro about it every time. But yeah, so I guess let's just talk about episode 19 because we're on 20. 19 is what we watched last week. I also want to mention that I think so. My plan was to do 2 episodes next week to make up for a week ago when I was sick. And I guess 2 weeks now is the point where it's at. And I planned on watching 2 episodes, and I still plan on that. To make up for when I was sick, and I thought that was going to be the end of the episode or end of the season, and I thought this whole time, or I guess end of the show. I guess this whole time I thought like 22 was the amount of episodes, and I don't know why I thought that. It must have just been something I looked at wrong. But there's 24 episodes, so watching 2 next week will bring us to episode 22, and then I might do 2 the following week just to finish up the show. Maybe not. So that's not confirmed. What is confirmed is next week I'll be doing 2 Steins Gate episodes, just so you guys know, and I'll be doing 2 Boruto episodes this week. Just slowly making up for what I lost. Anyway, enough about that. But yeah, so episode 19 was pretty crazy. We had, I believe that was the episode that, Okabe did his time leap thing with the microwave, and, he went back to where he started on the train, or whatever I believe it was, and he did his whole loop again, trying to get it to change, and he managed to get, or I guess I shouldn't say it that way, Mayuri managed to convince him that it would be good to, it'd be good for them to go back, and he accepted that, so now his goal is to figure out how to get them to leave, and, kind of changes my outlook on things knowing that there's 4 episodes left, so I'm really curious how this is going to play out and how many times he's going to have to try. But I guess we'll consider that his second attempt, because his first attempt was his first life, I guess. But his second attempt seems to have failed, and he did some, like, talking and planning, I believe, with the group, and I believe they were working on fixing the microwave again, and I think he's at the point, if I remember correctly, where he's about to time leap again, or maybe he did right as the episode ended. I think that's what it was. I think he leaped right as the episode ended, and that's where it ended at, so we'll get to see if he manages to get anything to work this time. The speed at which they got through it last time makes me think that it's not going to work again this episode, but I'm curious where they're going to take this. But yeah, so I think we should just look at getting into it. Alright, and we are going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Ooh, starting off really bright. Sure, why not? Right, he leaped, right? Alright. Is this like a dream? Huh. Oh. That would be so cool if they were all together like that, though. That's a cool bit of imagery. The time's starting to move backwards. Oof, what is going on? Hmm. Is he looping back to I think this is just like a dream thing while he's doing the phone microwave thingamajig, right? Now time's moving again. It was like paused. Hmm. Very interesting beginning. I'm gonna quickly check that I'm watching the right episode. Oh shit, where'd my video go? It does say 20. What did happen to you, buddy? Is he older? Or is he just malnourished? I am so confused. I really hope I'm not watching the wrong episode. Yeah, he was okay, so I did not see this coming at all. So this is like the future after like the World War, right? Or during it? Damn. War is a scary thing. Just eating a corpse? Damn. Is that like a satellite that came down and crashed into the building? Ooh. Like some kind of resistance faction? They said he led a resistance at one point, maybe. Is that Suzuha? The way she's holding a gun is. Damn. What the hell? So she does know the name, but why doesn't she recognize him? Wow, so this isn't just like a dream. This is like a thing. So did the phone microwave mess up? Like I know they kept building it from scratch and they weren't exactly sure what they were doing. So did they make a mistake and it like sent him flying into the future instead? Maybe? Or is this the actual time? Did he time loop to the time he wanted, but like a well, no, that wouldn't make sense, right? Shit. I don't know. Is that Daru? And he's skinny. Kinda like the video. Yeah, he looks a lot like the video where they talked about Operation Arclight. And they are older, so he did jump into the future, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, what year is it? Damn. So I wonder if he like slipped into a coma after he time leaped. Sorry about that. Oh. Damn. Sorry guys, I'm just blown away by this. I wanna wait. Now I'm confused. So he was up and moving around? Oh my god, I am confused. Wow, even Ferris is like a soldier now. So they said they exceeded the 48-hour limit of the time leap. Did they somehow shoot his consciousness off but left his body behind that was still like functioning and everything? And then it just landed now? Oh. Huh. Where the hell are they gonna go from here now? Jesus. The lab members, so who else? I mean, yeah, there's Ferris. Sorry about that, guys. Yup. Damn. Uh-oh. Ambush? Damn. Did he just wake up for them to die after all of this time? Probably shouldn't throw a gun to someone that, like, weak. Did they manage... I mean, they predicted it, so... Okay, so they're alive still. Okay, good, good, good. That would have just been... horrible. Damn, I can't believe they're, like... in this situation. I mean, I guess wartime turns everybody into a soldier for something like this, but... Holy shit! What a badass. That's right! She trained with swords at, like, the shrine. I remember that from the first season. I believe, anyway. I'm pretty sure that's right. Please don't kill Ferris right now. Okay. We're okay. Whew, I'm so stressed, guys. Oh no. he said the death words too. I'm not gonna die until I see. Okay, I'm not gonna die before Okabe, or whatever, something like that. Is he gonna be like near dead, but still alive? I'm so grim, guys. My outlook on this whole thing. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, he did get hit. Oh wow. That's like 5 shots. Yup. Damn. Damn, guys. I wonder if they finished the time machine. They said they were working on one. They have to, right? Like, there's no way they're ending the series like this. She hasn't changed all that much. I guess they're just used to death by now. Damn. So, real quick, I want to say that that emotional bit hit me, but not as hard as some other shows, just because I know this show has time travel, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna go back and save, him and other people, but it's still like super sad. Like, I feel for Okabe, like, it's gotta hurt every time he sees this. I just got chills because I actually hear the music coming up. So how... I thought it could only go back 48 hours, though. Okay, now I'm confused. We also didn't have an intro that episode. I just realized that. Interesting. Wow. They just threw me for a loop with this episode. Interesting. I have a lot to talk about in discussion. I'm just running through it in my head a bit. What a crazy episode. God, this congestion just won't go away. Alright, so there's no after credits. So that is the end of episode 20. And I thought I was just watching the wrong episode for like the first 5 minutes. Until he mentioned that the last thing he remembers is using the time leap machine. Holy crap, guys. So I never saw that coming. I'm really confused about one thing. The whole point of them needing the time machine was because he could only go back 48 hours. Am I wrong about that? Like, if any of you guys are listening to the discussion, can you let me know in the comments if I'm mistaken? Because I swear they could only go back 48 hours, and that was the whole thing, like, last episode, where or maybe the episode before that, where they needed to fix the phone microwave quick enough so that way they could get back within that 48-hour window. So how's he going to use it now to go all the way back and do the time leap? Unless something's changed. Unless they develop, like, a new version, maybe. But how would Okabe know that? They didn't mention it. They mentioned that they used the time leap machine to move the memories that were stored, I guess. Like, his consciousness was stored from 2011, and it was put into this body of him this far into the future. So that doesn't really tell, at least, I mean, he's a scientist, so maybe he figured something out, but that doesn't tell us as the viewers that means there's a new version that can, like, exceed the 48 hours. Although they did mention something about exceeding the 48 hours, but I thought that was, like, just like a fluke thing that happened. Maybe he was saying that they managed to make it so the time leap machine could exceed the 48 hours, and I just misinterpreted it. Um, I thought they were saying, like, when it happened back then, that's, like, it exceeded the 48 hours, and that's what, like, broke it and messed it up. But man, that is wild. So, essentially, they tried to use a time leap machine, which we saw right at the end of the episode, and it didn't work. So I'm guessing he just did the whole thing with like the lightning sparking everywhere. I don't know if that was a visual thing or if that actually happened. But then just like nothing happened. He was probably like, huh, what? I'm still here? And they were like, I guess it didn't work. And they just went on living in this like messed up world. And Mayuri was gone and Suzuha. Wait. Suzuha went with Mayuri. So how is Suzuha there? Is Suzuha there because this is a point in time where Daru, like, had Suzuha again? And she was born, and that's probably why she didn't recognize Okabe, is because she's only heard about Okabe from Daru and hasn't actually seen him yet. Because this is a point in time where she's born, but she hasn't gone back in time yet to convince Okabe to find the Steins gate. Interesting. I'm guessing that's what it has to be, right? Because the one that came from the future last series should have tried to go back with Mayuri and got shot with the RPG and died. So that version of her, I guess, is gone. And now this one's here, which, like I said, is why she didn't recognize him. I thought it could have been, like, I thought it was weird she didn't recognize him. I thought it was either a different world line, where they, like, somehow never met, or it was the fact that, he just got older, and you know, like, we could tell it was still him, but sometimes anime characters, like, aren't too clever. They get, like, tricked by people with disguises by just them putting a hat on or something, and they're like, oh, who are you? I had no idea who you were. But, oh, man. Super interesting. So yeah, so the time leap machine didn't work, and Okabe just went on living for, I think it was until 2025, they said, when he got captured. Or wait, no. Maybe he got captured before that. I forget what date they said he got captured. But he got captured, and then by Stratfor, which was one of the American organizations, I believe. And they tortured him to the point where his mind was broken. And then that's when Ferris and Rukako is what he calls her. Is this Ruka or Ruko? Either way. They found him and recovered him, but his mind was already broken. It was too late at that point, and that might have been the 2025 date, was when they found him. And then he was just, like, practically, like, alive but brain dead for, like, the 11 years after that until 2036, when they did this whole thing of putting his 2011 mind into the body. Which is interesting. I guess when I go to edit this episode right after this, I'll see that line again about the like bypassing the 48 hours, and I'll make sure to reread it so I better understand it for next episode. Or maybe one of you guys will mention in the comments too what's up with that. So, but I'm thinking it must have been them saying that they can bypass the 48 hour now, But why did they still work on other time machines then? I guess, was it Okabe was the only one that could use the time leap machine? Because he was the only one that could remember, right? Because he had this, they called it like Steins reader or whatever. So there was no point in sending their consciousness back in the time leap machine because they wouldn't remember when they got there, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so maybe they did make it so the time leap machine could bypass 48 hours, but then they still had no use for it, which is why they still worked on the time machine. Um, Interesting. So he's saying he's gonna go back and find the Steins Gate. Does that mean if the time leap machine can like exceed the 48 hour? They didn't say a limit, so is he gonna be able to go all the way back to, I forget what year it was, but whatever year it was that he gave up and just like kick it off again? Or is he gonna go all the way back to like the first, like, not the ending of the first season, but the beginning of the first season and like save Kurisu? I wonder how far he's gonna go. Because that's like one of those points they said is the point, like Operation Arclight or whatever was to make sure Okabe didn't give up, so he could go back to that point on the roof where he just kind of broke and gave up. And they're saying that's the way to the Steins Gate, is him not giving up. So if he forwards his consciousness into like that point, then he'd be able to not give up and find the Steins Gate no matter how many failed futures. Man, he's just gonna start, like, I don't know if he'll ever become numb to it, but I feel like after a certain amount of time, you just become numb because he's seen all this, he's seen all this stuff in the past, and if he just starts going over futures again and again and again and again and just seeing everybody die, like, I feel like you would just get numb to it, but Jesus Christ. What other bits of information did we get this episode? It was pretty crazy seeing everybody older and, like, basically forced to be soldiers. And that's scary because, like, that's somewhat realistic of what the world could turn into at, like, any point. The fact that we have, like, you know, so many, I believe a lot of countries have nuclear bombs or, you know, even just bombs in general. That like the world could just turn into people bombing each other, and it could get to the point where it's just survival of the fittest, and it's just like the only people that live are soldiers. Like there's not really any just normal residents left, at least in that area. Like we don't know what the rest of the world is like, but that area is just a total like wasteland, like war zone kind of thing. But it's like I was confused at what was happening, but I really liked what I was seeing because I'm a big fan of like post-apocalyptic kind of scenarios, and that like world that he got put into, that like not world, but like that time period, and seeing all the destruction makes me think of like a post-apocalyptic thing, even though it wasn't an apocalypse. But that whole thing, like, I like that whole out of the ordinary where like the whole world is like changed, and they kind of have like the little exploring aspect where you see things that like, you know, weren't there before. And I think that's what I like. I like the whole like journey aspect of shows, and in seeing things that you don't normally see. I guess like seeing like a whole city destroyed like that is not something you normally see in like anime and stuff. um but except for like, you know, the few that are like that. But yeah, that was really cool. Hmm So I guess, I mean, I'm assuming next episode, I'm guessing they're not going to spend much more time in this, so that means there's 4 more episodes for Okabe to go back and find the Steins Gate. So next episode's probably going to be some talking a little bit, I'm guessing, while they set up the time leap machine. Because I don't know if they have it set up to, like, actually time leap, because they had it set up to put his consciousness into that body, but I don't know if they have it, like, all ready for him to go, or maybe he'll just be going right away. But I'm sure we'll get some, like, at least some talking at this point, and then he'll go back, and we'll have the rest of the episode of him trying to, make the change. But does that mean he has to time leap back to that point? And then... Because they said one method of getting Operation Arclight to work is for Okabe to continue on his path back then at the roof. But we still don't know what he needs to do on that path to find the Steins Gate, right? We still don't know that, like, that change that needs to be made. That little pebble, that butterfly affects the world into just disarray, is basically what he needs to find. And I don't think we've been told yet what that is. So basically, he needs to, the whole point of Mayuri going back was to convince him not to give up, which means he would have just had to go time leap again and try to fix it. So he might not time leap to that roof part. He might time leap to where he thinks he needs to go to fix the problem, but I don't know where that is. So I'm trying to think of, like, my memory is slightly hazy from the first series because I watched it a really long time ago the first time, and then I rewatched it a second time about, I want to say, like, a year and a half or 2 years ago. I rewatched it. But my memory is still, like, a bit hazy on, like, the finer details of, like, what he can do. Like, I wonder if there was a hint in the first series as to the change that needs to be made in order to reach the Steins Gate, but I'm super interested in that. I really hope we make it to the Steins Gate after, like, all this talk about it. Like, they briefly touched on it in the first series, and I understand why, because there was the first, like, there was the alternate ending, but I think both times he gave up, right? Obviously. The first series ended with, shoot. Did the first series, not the alternate ending, but the actual series, end with them finding the Steins Gate? I don't think so, right? They ended with... Because I was pretty sure Kurisu was alive. But does that mean Mayuri was dead? Because the whole thing about the first series was that, if Kurisu lives, Mayuri dies. But I'm pretty sure I remember Kurisu living, and then is the alternate ending just Kurisu not living, and Mayuri living instead. But either way, I think he gave up both times, because unless he did find the Steins Gate, I don't know. But if he found the Steins Gate, then I don't see the point in the alternate ending, you know? That kind of defeats the point of the rest of the show, so I don't think he actually found it. But regardless of what happened in the first series, because the alternate ending is all that really matters, I am curious what the change will be and if it was, like, hinted at and stuff. But damn. But yeah, so I don't really think I have much more to talk about for this. I'm trying to think of. I like the callback with the whole sword fighting stuff. I'm glad I remembered before they said it, because I do remember them having some little like mock battles way back in the first series. And that's a cool callback that they had Rukako um using the sword to fight. It was pretty cool. Even though, I mean, sword versus gun can do some damage, but he ended up dying anyway, which is really sad. And something I mentioned during the episode is like some shows can bring me to like tears, like being really sad. But unfortunately, when it's a show that involves time travel, I don't get as invested with like other characters' deaths because we've seen other characters die so many times now, and he just goes back in time and saves them. So it's not as impactful as other shows where you might have been with them for an entire series and then they die and for that show they're dead, and that's what gets like really sad. But yeah. So that's why like I wasn't super emotional at the part, but I still felt bad for Okabe because like even though he's seen this so many times now, it still just hits him so hard. But yeah, crazy stuff. I cannot believe the direction this episode went in. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. And I will be doing 2 episodes next week, so you guys can look forward to 21 and 22 next week. And we're getting close to the finale. I'll probably like make a decision on the show that I want to replace this one with, because I'll be doing another show. Like, obviously, this is like I have this set up as like a time slot, so Mondays is gonna be a time slot that I do regularly. So as soon as this show finishes, I'll be starting up another show. I have a lot of options. I haven't decided on which one I want to do yet. I almost can't wait until I can do polls, because it would make it a lot less stressful if I didn't have to pick the show myself. But yeah, I've been trying to consider like various things of like what I want to watch and what would be good for the channel and various stuff like that. But yeah, so once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.